Real Madrid don't collapse overnight. They erode, slowly, quietly, and then, all at once. Over the last 6 months, Real Madrid have gone from control to chaos. And the last 2 weeks didn't start the crisis. They exposed it. This didn't happen by accident. For much of this season, Real Madrid looked fine. Good results, big names, a squad full of winners. But beneath the surface, something wasn't right. Madrid were winning despite how they were playing. Games lacked control, performances lacked identity, and problems were being postponed, not solved. Results were lying. To understand Real Madrid's collapse, you have to go back further than January, much further. Because this season didn't fall apart in 2 weeks, it unraveled over 6 months. At the start of the season, Madrid were winning games, but they weren't convincing. Matches were being decided by moments, not control. There were warning signs everywhere. Slow starts, midfield gaps, defensive transitions that felt improvised. But because the results were positive, those signs were ignored. This is how declines begin at elite clubs. Not with humiliation, but with denial. As the months passed, those problems didn't disappear. They hardened. Madrid began to rely more and more on individual brilliance. Late goals, one decisive run, one moment of quality. But when a team depends on moments, it stops being a team. And once opponents realized Madrid could be disrupted, the illusion of control collapsed. Then came the last 2 weeks. And suddenly, everything Madrid had been hiding was dragged into the light. The Supercopa final wasn't just a game, it was a test. A chance to reset the season, to prove authority, to restore belief. Instead, Madrid were outplayed. They didn't lose because of bad luck. They lost because they lacked control. Days later, the illusion shattered completely. Real Madrid were knocked out of the Copa del Rey by Albacete, a Segunda Division side. 2 late goals, no composure, no leadership. This wasn't rotation gone wrong. This was collapse under pressure. In just 72 hours, Madrid lost 2 competitions. And for the first time all season, there were no excuses left. These 2 weeks didn't cause the crisis. They revealed it. The bill came due. This run made one thing unavoidable. Xabi Alonso's project collapsed under pressure. Constant rotation. No settled system. And a dressing room losing belief. After just over 6 months, Real Madrid pulled the plug. Not because of one loss, but because the direction was gone. At this point, it's impossible to talk about Real Madrid's collapse without talking about injuries. Not as an excuse, but as a structural problem. Over the last 6 months, Madrid have rarely fielded the same defensive unit twice. Center backs rotated, fullbacks unavailable. Midfielders forced to cover defensive spaces. This destroys rhythm, because football at the elite level is built on automatisms. Movements repeated so often they become instinct. Right now, Madrid hesitate. Not because they lack quality, but because they lack familiarity. When structure breaks down, everything else follows. Pressing becomes disjointed. Transitions become chaotic, and confidence slowly drains. Madrid didn't just lose players, they lost continuity. The most worrying part of this collapse isn't tactical, it's psychological. When teams lose clarity, leadership becomes essential. Someone has to slow the game. Someone has to take responsibility. Someone has to restore order. Right now, Real Madrid don't have that figure on the pitch. Responsibility is shared, but accountability is missing. Leadership by committee doesn't work. This shows in the smallest moments. Arguments instead of organization. Protests instead of positioning. Emotion instead of composure. These aren't isolated incidents. They're symptoms of a team that no longer trusts its structure. In the past, Madrid survived chaos because leadership anchored them. Today, chaos defines them. This is the moment every great club eventually faces. Not a collapse, but a crossroads. Real Madrid still have elite talent, world-class players, experience, history. But history doesn't fix structure, and talent doesn't replace clarity. Right now, Madrid don't need motivation. They don't need speeches. And they don't need panic signings. They need control. Control of tempo, control of space, control of emotion. Because when a team loses control, every match becomes reactive. You stop imposing yourself. You start surviving. And the danger is timing. This isn't happening in August. It's happening in January, when seasons are defined. If Madrid don't stabilize now, fatigue will expose weaknesses even further. Injuries will compound problems, and confidence will erode match by match. But here's the other side. Moments like this don't just break teams. They reveal them. This is where leadership either emerges or disappears, where identity is rebuilt or completely lost. The next few weeks won't decide a single match. They will decide what Real Madrid are becoming. Because crises don't define clubs. How they respond to them does. Real Madrid have survived crises before, but this one wasn't sudden. It was built over 6 months, and the last 2 weeks didn't cause the collapse. They revealed it. What do you think really broke Real Madrid this season? Was it injuries, the manager, or something deeper? This is Studio Football 7. Subscribe for deep football breakdowns, not headlines.